Scientists have been searching for aliens for decades, sending spaceships and sophisticated telescopes into space to look for indications of life on other planets or stars in the galaxy. They have not, however, been able to gather sufficient proof to confirm the existence of aliens. According to a recent study, if alien life exists beyond our solar system, it's most likely to be found in Europa, one of Jupiter's 16 moons. There is substantial evidence that beneath Europa's ice-covered surface lies an ocean of liquid water, one of the basic elements for all living beings. Is there, perhaps, an ocean on Europa? Is there any life in those frigid waters? Well, you're just in luck, because today we'll discuss a surprising finding found by scientists on Jupiter's ice moon Europa. Let's begin. Europa, sometimes known as Jupiter II, is the smallest of Jupiter's 4 Galilean moons and the 6th closest to the planet's 80 known moons. Europa, which is slightly smaller than Earth's moon, is mostly formed of silicate rock with a water-ice crust and a likely iron-nickel core. It has a thin atmosphere made mostly of oxygen, and its surface is striated by fractures and streaks, but there are a few craters. Furthermore, subterranean lakes of salty water may be frequent on Jupiter's moon Europa, according to studies, and scientists believe that sites could be interesting places to look for indications of life beyond Earth. When scientists found that vast parallel ridges running for hundreds of kilometers on Europa were very similar to surface patterns discovered on the Greenland ice sheet, they suspected there were shallow pools beneath the frozen surface of the Jovian moon. According to scientists, a ridge cut into Greenland's ice sheet provides an unexpected signal that abundant pockets of water may be trapped just beneath the surface of Jupiter's ice-covered moon Europa, one of the solar system's most likely possibilities for microbial life. Europa, one of Jupiter's 4 main moons, has a 15-mile thick ice coating covering its surface, beneath which scientists believe an ocean swashes. However, a new study identified parallels between processes forming in the surface of the faraway moon and Earth's own icy Greenland, suggesting that scientific potential could be found significantly nearer to the freezing moon's surface. The ice crust of Europa is latticed with so-called double ridges, which are sets of lengthy parallel elevated lines separated by a valley that can be hundreds of miles or kilometers long. A crisscrossing network of these double ridges may have been seen in every region of the moon's surface, but scientists have never figured out how they develop. A strikingly comparable ridge appeared in the ice sheet covering Greenland around 10 years ago, according to satellite photographs. If the claim is correct, it suggests that Europa could contain more than simply a deep subterranean ocean. The Jovian moon could also have water trapped in pockets close beneath the ice surface. Kullberg, a geophysicist who focuses on the effects of climate change on Greenland's ice sheet, noticed Europa's 2 ridges and immediately recognized a structure he had seen in photographs of Earth's polar island. When scientists adjust their observations for the difference in gravity, the shape of Greenland's twin ridge looks startlingly similar to that of Europa. That's useful because scientists can do things with Greenland that they can't do with Europa yet, such as utilize radar to pierce the ice's veil. Radar scans in Greenland revealed water that had welled up beneath the double ridge. Scientists believe that upwelling water is responsible for the formation of 2 ridges. Whenever a pool of water forms inside the ice, pressure can build against the surface above the ice. The ice may shatter with enough pressure, allowing water to flow up into the opening. Although the water swiftly refreezes, the forces generated by the entire process carve twin ridges into the surface. While it's difficult to overstate the extent to which Europa is covered with double ridges, if the presented explanation is right, pockets of water beneath the surface have existed on Europa for much of its history. If that's the case, the water pockets must have been replenished. Greenland isn't quite as good a comparison here because its twin ridge formed only a decade ago. A very warm summer in 2012, according to Kullberg and his colleagues, evaporated enough water to accumulate in an underground pocket beneath the ridge. However, because there isn't much meltwater on Europa's surface, Kullberg and his colleagues believe the additional water is coming from a much deeper place beneath the ice, perhaps tens of miles or kilometers down, where scientists expect to find a global ocean. As a result, future missions to Jupiter's moon, such as NASA's Europa Clipper mission, which is set to launch in 2024, may be on the lookout for these shallow water pockets. Europa Clipper will also contain ice-penetrating radar similar to that used by researchers to peek beneath Greenland, which is interesting for scientists like Kullberg. What would it signify if scientists discovered an ocean beneath Europa's ice surface? According to researchers, Europa's geographical location is similar to that of Greenland, where life such as shrimp, jellyfish, and snails can be discovered in water beneath the ice. Scientists believe that life may exist beneath the hard surface of the ice of Europa. Dr. Gregor Steinberg of NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory claimed that people have been examining these twin ridges on Europa for more than 20 years during the investigation. However, scientists have witnessed something akin to what occurs on Earth for the first time. We're trying to figure out what kind of physics and dynamics govern the ice Europa, he said. Yet, how are scientists going to decipher the truth deep within Europa's frozen layers? NASA's experts have been hard at work designing robotics and rovers that may explore the cold moon, according to reports. NASA engineer Andy Klesch, who once said in 2020 that it's one of the most promising areas in our solar system for where we might find more indications of life, is now developing a robot that will investigate the point where ice and water collide, which is the most likely place for life to exist. According to Klesch, algae and microorganisms tend to use photosynthesis and anchor on the underside of the ice, where they can be sheltered from the air currents, and certainly, there won't be much light on Europa. But there will still be that anchoring point for many of the different microorganisms. Although Klesch's rover will not be operational for at least a decade, numerous additional expeditions to Europa are in various phases of preparation and development. Information from Galileo revealed the existence of a subsurface lake on Europa, with scientists assuming there are many more hidden underneath the ice shell. Scientists and even us astronomer enthusiasts are really excited that the Europa Clipper spacecraft has an ice-penetrating radar on board, because that's exactly the instrument used in Greenland to study this double ridge. So there'll be some exciting data coming out of the Clipper mission for looking for these kinds of processes. As a result, if we eventually discover life on Europa, this could resemble microorganisms or something more complicated. If life can be shown to have formed independently in two places orbiting the same star, it really is plausible to believe that life can spring up anywhere in the cosmos once the required elements are there, and that life could be found across our galaxy and the universe. So if life were discovered in Europa, how would it alter your perspective of the universe and our place within it? Comment down and let us know what you think. And as always, we'll see you in the next video.